According to many sociological studies, Spain's population is the most passionate in the world. Well, its wildlife seems to follow suit. Pairing off is the order of the day, and passion is never lacking in this endeavor. And breeding is the aim. But there's no love without danger. There's no love without conflict. And no love without pain. Watch on to see true stories of love, tales of self-denial and passion, which make wildlife even more fascinating and remarkable. This is Iberia, a land of passions. In the south of Europe lies the Iberian Peninsula, the territory boasting the highest biodiversity of the whole European Union. The end of summer is here. It's still hot, and the red deer stags visit the pools, as usual, to slake their thirst. They also wallow in mud baths to kill parasites. But today there's something different in the air. The old stag is a little wound up. The rest of the herd respect and fear him. His antlers are fearsome, and he weighs in at 200 kilograms. Something in his habitual behavior patterns is about to change. The entire wood falls mute. These open woodlands of the Iberian Peninsula are called dehasas. For a few weeks, they turn into dramatic amphitheaters, staging a melodrama that is unique in the world. The old stag wields his clout in the form of huge bellows that can be heard kilometers away. The stag has come into rut. This is his way of showing the does how virile he is, while at the same time warning of any possible rivals among the other stags. So his bellows are at once a form of courtship and a threat. Making sure no doe slips the leash is exhausting work, and he also has to fend off constant challenges from other stags. This double task might last several weeks with hardly any respite. The old stag has herded together a tidy harem. This infuriates his rivals, among whom there is an eye-catching young pretender. He's coming very close now. The well-built candidate dares to enter his domains. The ruling monarch is indignant about his brazenness. Threats do not daunt the young pretender. It was only the merest skirmish, for now. The pretender wanders off, but he'll be back. Impressed by the duel, some young stags begin to scrap with each other. The great monarch leads his harem into the heart of the wood. There, he'll spend the whole night bellowing. The youngsters are still playing under cover of night. They mimic their elders, just like kids playing at soldiers. Tomorrow will be the big day. A new day dawns. Emotions run high. The ruling king continues with his show, keeping one word eye on the nearby young pretender. He sometimes has to drive off other stags too. Something's got to give. The king decides to come out of the wood in search of the candidate, who doesn't shrink for the encounter. The youngster is on him before the big old stag knows where he is. The inevitable fight is on, and the opponents are evenly matched. Sometimes the result is the death of one of them. Ironically, they're willing to give up their life in the struggle to breed and pass on their genes. The winner gets the whole harem of does. The loser gets nothing. The ruling king seems to be winning. But the pretender hangs in. He counterattacks with everything he's got. King has been dethroned. Long live the king. The harsh summer wanes. A promising autumn looms. The seasonal ponds and pools fill up with water again. And in the darkest night, the natterjack toads crowd together to mate. A strong croak is a sign of tip-top health. This is what the females are listening out for. Competition is rife. Mistakes are made. But some males never give up. Two males scramble on top of one female. Another joins in. If they don't let the female breathe, she might die. In other parts of the pond, there's not the least jot of privacy. The great knot of passion begins to unravel, but the female is almost out of oxygen. Other amphibians join in the mating frenzy. Their level of activity depends on the weather. If it rains and it's not too cold, there's sex. Next day, the pond is full of spawn. In a few days, the water seems to be seething with life. The tadpoles chomp away non-stop and grow rapidly. But they're not alone. It's the larva of a great diving beetle, the terror of pond life. Its jaws can rip through flesh like a dagger. It's taking on a well-grown tadpole, a difficult prey. Fear ripples through the rest of the tadpoles. It will suck its blood until killing it. When everything seemed to be over, the danger comes from elsewhere. It's a kingfisher. Only 1 out of 4 tadpoles will reach its adult phase. Autumn makes more headway. The rhythm of love continues to throb in many corners of the Iberian Peninsula. These are Mouflon. They are the forerunners of today's domestic sheep. They might well be dubbed wild sheep. In October, there's an abundance of acorn. At this time of year, they come into heat too. Unlike the red deer, male mouflons stick together and there is no alpha male dominating a harem of ewes. In this herd, the three biggest rams seem to be inseparable companions. They identify receptive females by smell, especially of their urine, and they seem to like it. The three old friends also check each other out. As the breeding season advances, however, the entente cordiale between the three rams begins to crumble. Their alliance is now becoming frayed at the edges. What was beforehand all loyalty and friendship has now turned into scorn and goading and harassment. If the pestering strategy doesn't work, the tension is racked up to outright aggression. Clashes are ferocious, but they nip the growing scorn in the bud. Little by little, the adversaries lose heart. The physically and mentally strongest of the three big rams wins mating rights to the fertile ewe. Only a few days later, the three big rams' bickering has returned to the friendship of the former times. Autumn advances in the Iberian Peninsula. Here, color is a free invention. In the uplands, where white water flows, temperatures plummet, but not enough to quash the acts of love. The Iberian ibex now comes into rut. The males stalk the females and woo them non-stop, using a curious courting procedure. It's a fraught time for the females, but a male would not dare even to touch a female without its consent. In this herd, there are two especially hefty males. None of the two is ready to back off, and the tension between them is becoming untenable. Hard by, two sprightly young males are chasing some females. Although they've not yet built up the strength of the biggest males, they are now of mating age. They can't stand each other. They're very equally matched. One blow from these horns could kill a human being. The weakest backs off. The weather worsens on this day of unbridled passion, and the females are not very receptive. Neither blizzard nor snow cools down the libido in the herd of the two big males. It's windy and freezing cold, but they don't give up. In the afternoon, the blizzard relents. One of the two big males urinates in his own face. It's supposed to be a big turn-on. For the moment, however, this aphrodisiac doesn't seem to work. The two mighty males blame each other and want to settle accounts. The loser hopples off, with few chances of mating this year. Winter has arrived, and, from time to time, howls. At low areas, the cold is less biting. The wind howls less. But now there are different kinds of screeches. It's a young female Iberian lynx, the world's most threatened feline. It screeches and mews to show it's on heat, but no male is around to hear it. There are so few left. Little by little, however, thanks to the efforts of the governments of Portugal and Spain, their numbers are now increasing. Some distance away, an equally young male is also on the lookout for a mate. It leaves urine scent markings and numerous points to show its readiness. It has left its own territory in search of a love affair. This male and this female can make a perfect match. The trouble is, they're unlikely to meet up. The female rubs her scent into the grass. If a young male passes by, he'll know there's a receptive female nearby. It's almost a blind date, and it will have to happen soon because the female won't stay in heat for long. The days go by and they don't meet up, though they do cut down the distance between them. It's tiring work, and the male has to top up his strength now and then. His most usual prey is the rabbit. The saying goes that a stalking lynx is quieter than silence. Stop scent marking. Night falls. Our young male is still moving on, scent marking and mewing. He has now entered the female's territory, and in the darkest night, the tryst finally occurs. And at the first light of day, a flash of passion. It's the alpha male of a wolf pack. The Iberian wolf is a social carnivore with a marked pecking order. The alpha pair lord it over the rest. The wolves come into breeding condition in February. Within the pack, only the dominant pair will mate. Unusually, however, this particular pack took in a young solo bitch a few months ago. And just like the alpha bitch, this young female has come into heat too. The dominant pair sniff the air, picking up the scent markings given off by the youngster. Taking advantage of a moment when the dominant bitch is dozed off, the young female manages to wander off with the alpha male. She makes sure no one's looking. The alpha bitch has woken up. She follows their scent trail. She's vexed and wound up. Her nervousness increases as more time passes. She's found them. They've only been a short while on their own, and the male has not tried to mate with the youngster. But the alpha bitch couldn't care less about that. Jealousy occurs too among wildlife. The youngster's tail drooping between her legs indicates submission. The alpha bitch's perky, uplifted tail expresses dominance. She goads the youngster non-stop, cutting off her insipid oestrus cycle completely. The alpha male has remained faithful, but her fellow pack member's audacity has forced her to remind the upstart of the pecking order. At this time of year, the big male is hers and hers alone. Winter is slowly on the wane. The courtship and nuptial battles of the autumn and winter will soon bear fruit. But for the time being, new animals go a-wooing. The huge open grasslands of Portugal and Spain are home to the world's heaviest flying bird. The great bustard. The Iberian Peninsula boasts the world's biggest population. The males, weighing in at nearly 20 kilos, are much bigger than the females. The great bustard's courtship begins in March. The males gather in established leks in search of females. To win mating rights with a female, the males flaunt themselves extravagantly. Each male seems to turn his plumage inside out and puff himself up to seduce the females. They seem to blossom among the grassland. The females sidle up to the most splendorous and experienced males. Other males get the thumb-down treatment. This male is inexpert. Although he's big, he doesn't catch any female's eye. He tries in various places, but lucks out. He struts around in splendid isolation. The days go by and he persists indefatigably. A female comes close. The inexpert male gets excited, but the female pays him little heed. This male is a veritable hymn to tenacity. He follows the female. At last, he manages to attract her attention. More females turn up. One of these females takes the initiative, but the male now looks bewildered by the turn of events. He's got cold feet. She tries to retain him. She wants to mate with him, but he's been taken by a fit of shyness. The female doesn't understand a thing. All that time waiting desperately for this moment, and now the sudden glut of females has overwhelmed him. There won't be another opportunity like this. He'll have to wait for next spring now. In the Mediterranean woodland, the story continues to unfold. In a secluded nook, the female lynx has mated with the young male, giving birth to 2 kittens. She's a first-time mother, and all the rearing will be up to her. The males never pitch in. Now she calmly suckles her brood. Soon, however, she'll have to hunt. Hard by, 2 amorous rabbits frolic in the grass. They breed non-stop. They have a couple of grown-up youngsters with 2 little ones still in the burrow, but their thoughts are already turning to breeding again. It's exhausting, so much so that the male almost wilts. Their son can barely believe his eyes. At the same time, the female lynx goes out on the prowl, heading towards the rabbits. The rabbits, heedless of the danger, remain in frolicsome mood. She's discovered their burrow, with the 2 baby rabbits inside. The rabbits are still blissfully frisky. The parent rabbits have still got their two bigger young. In any case, the female is pregnant again. The offspring of the king dethroning red deer now try their mother's tepid milk. The youngster seems to lick lyrics of love into her fur. Within the wild boar family, there is less harmony. Sibling rivalry is normal. In the Mouflon herd, a youngster is also enjoying its mother's care. Something puts the herd on edge. It's a smell they know well, instilling panic amongst them, but they're not sure where it's coming from. The youngster has lost touch with its mother. The wolves are not hunting today. There are important developments within the pack. The alpha female presents its pups to the rest of the pack. It's a day of hope and happiness. Panic over, false alarm, and the ewe soon finds her lamb. Stories of unconditional love are also being acted out in the Iberian Peninsula wetlands. And in these places, love takes a more artful form. A pair of black-winged stilts, they pair for life, and their mating is an elegant and delicate procedure. While the female waits, the male sluices down. He won't mount her until he feels sufficiently spruce and elegant. After the coupling, a tender hug that seems to be a vow of everlasting love. Very close by, other species like the white-headed duck are performing their own particular courting choreography. A new generation is springing up all over the wetland. The black-winged stilt chicks are soon scuttling about. Their mother senses a threat on the horizon. A marsh harrier, a specialist in small prey species. The mother rolls out her defense strategy. It looms ever closer. For the harrier, the stilt is simply a very long-legged bird. Motherly love develops its own cunning stratagems. Summer arrives. Our two lynx kittens are growing up. Their mother is managing quite well. The kittens are naturally inquisitive. The mother loses sight of a kitten. Okay, let's track her down, the mother seems to say. The daughter has got herself lost. The male kitten, somewhat larger, also slips off. She has now lost both of them, but doesn't seem too concerned. The smaller kitten calls her desperately. She tries to spot them. She's heard something. They're both together now. The mother's greeting is frosty. Maybe she's a bit miffed. The mother punishes the larger male kitten. She subjects him to a harsh submission ritual, as if mating with him. Her son reacts, but the mother cuts off his rebellion with a withering look. He offers her his genitals as a final sign of submission. Unconditional love is not at loggerheads with discipline. It has been an important lesson. Our wolf pack's pups are bigger too. Their games show they're almost ready for action. The alpha female wants to exert a bit of control. On occasions, they drive their elders around the bend. What mother could resist this plea for mercy? The breeding cycle is over on the Iberian Peninsula. Soon the rutting red deer will be bellowing again, followed by new winning, jousts, and fever-pitched performances. Ardent, sex-fueled, risk-ridden avowals melding afterwards into exercises of unconditional love. This is Iberia, a land of passions.